Hi, all of my lovely friends. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. A few weeks ago, I posted a video answering your questions that you had about mediumship, and I was flooded with DMs on my Instagram and my Facebook with more questions, which I love, so please keep doing, or you can put them in the comments down below and I can feature your question in the next video. For this video, I do have several questions that I'm going to answer about mediumship. Like I did last time, I will timestamp the questions down below, so if you have a specific question that you want answered, you can jump straight to that question. There's nothing I can't stand more than listening to an hour-and-a-half video and they don't even answer the question I was looking to get answered. So I won't do that to you guys. You can find the question in the timestamp. If you have a question that is not answered, send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook or leave it in the comments. Let's go. So I've got my iPad here. I'm going to be looking down, but we're ready to dive into your questions. Thank you so much for sending them to me. The first question I have here is, how do you know what to name your business? Okay, so I love this question so much. If you guys have followed me from the very, very beginning of my journey, when I was just starting out, learning how to do this, learning how to be a medium, learning how to be a psychic, you'll notice that the name of my business has changed like 4 times on this YouTube channel alone, because I could not settle on a name that I wanted. And then I picked a name for my business, and then it didn't feel right once I had advanced to a new level in my journey. So when I first started out, I called myself Developing with Mel, because all of my videos were about me learning and you following along with me as I learned. But then once I got to the next stage of my journey, where I was just full on in it and working with clients, I thought Developing with Mel doesn't sound professional. So I changed my name up to Mediumship with Mel, because my whole focus was mediumship and giving mediumship readings. Then after that, so many other doors got opened for me in terms of Reiki. I've become a Reiki master. In terms of theta healing, I'm certified in many different theta healing techniques. I offer so many more readings to my clients than just mediumship. And the word mediumship with Mel kind of put me in a box of only being a medium. And I was losing out on reaching so many people that need me or my videos or my help. So I, again, needed to change my name in order to make it work for my current business, the current way I do my readings, the current readings that I have, the offerings that I have. So this question is a beautiful and great question. What I suggest you do is look further into the future. Right now, are you studying to be a psychic? Are you studying mediumship? Are you studying Reiki? Whatever you might be studying, just know that the universe is going to put you in other avenues and other paths to grow and be greater and to grow and be more advanced. Now, I see a lot of people use their name as their business, which I also think is a great idea, because then it's just your name. So as you evolve, there's nothing that needs to change in terms of your business. I personally don't like to have my full name out there in the world, all over the internet, because there's scammers out there. If you follow people on Instagram like me who are healers, you'll know that there are tons and tons of scam accounts out there using your name, your business, your profile to try to scam clients out of money. And I just never felt comfortable with my full name being out there in the world with all these scammers and illegal things that go on using your name. Not to mention the fact that if somebody knows your name and where you live, they can easily find your address. So I don't like using my name. Some people do. Maybe you can use a pen name, which is like a different version of your name. But however you want to word your business or name your business, keep in mind the fact that you are going to grow. You are going to expand, and your business is going to change from time to time. So when you pick a name, don't do what I did and change your name 3 or 4 different times as you expand. Think ahead to where you want to be, where you might be, and plan your name around that. Now, I do suggest that the name of your business have something to do with what you want to be. So if you want to focus on Reiki, have it something to do with Reiki, but also keep in mind that you might expand to other things later on. But if they involve Reiki, it's still going to fit into that title. Maybe you want to work on psychic or mediumship like I do. You can use the word psychic for so many different avenues of what you might do in the future. You can use the word intuitive like I do. That word intuitive applies to everything that I do in my business, whether it's Reiki, whether it's my future reading, higher self reading, any of the readings I give, the word intuitive fits into it. And that's why I focused my new business name and my last one on the word intuitive. So try to plan ahead, try to think ahead, and not put yourself in this little box. If that's like the best advice I can give you, try to think ahead, not just one specific thing, because you are going to grow. Believe me, whether you want to or not right now, the universe and your soul, they're going to put you down a path to grow and expand yourself and therefore your business. This next question I received probably 6 or 7 of you who asked the same thing, and it is, how do I know what to charge for my services? This question is based on you. It's how you feel comfortable. I can give you my story and maybe you can work from there. When I first started mediumship, I was practicing. I did hundreds and hundreds of readings for free because I wanted to practice and get the skill and build myself up. I didn't want to just jump in, I'm a psychic medium. I wanted to practice for me and learn and grow. So I do suggest to everybody to do as many practice readings as you can before you jump into charging and being a full professional medium. Now, when I was ready to do that, I was still really nervous to charge people for the readings because I was still in that practice bubble. I was still in that little bubble. When you say practice, if you make a mistake, it's okay. If you get something wrong, it's okay because you're just practicing, right? You didn't charge someone. So I remember being really nervous about that. So the first price that I offered was $30 for a mediumship reading. And I was like having friends, why is your price so low? You can't do that. But for me, it felt comfortable. If there's anything you learn from me on this channel, it's that you have to do what is right for you. You cannot let somebody say to you, well, you can't do that. That's not right. Who are they to say that to you, right? It's whatever you're comfortable with. Looking back now, that $30 was totally a slap to my own face. Like charging $30 showed me that I didn't believe I was worth the cost, worth the price. Now that didn't last very long, and then I bumped my price up to $50. And I was pretty comfortable there. $50 to me felt like a really good price to start working with a professional medium, but still somewhat of a novice professional medium. And I stayed at that $50 price for a while, probably about a year or so. But then after that, I started getting certifications in Reiki. I started getting certifications in Theta Healing, and certifications in how to do different styles of readings. And that costs money, that costs time, that costs my energy. And so I needed to raise my prices again. I also got certified in Akashic Records, and my mentor for Akashic Records, she asked to see my website and she saw my price at $50 and she goes, there's no way, you need to be charging way more for your services because you're just so good. But for me, it's not necessarily about the money. There does need to be an exchange because it takes a lot of time from you. It takes a lot of effort from you. It takes a lot of your energy. And it takes a lot to learn. So you're going to be taking courses that cost money. You're going to be taking webinars that cost money. Maybe going to classes that cost money. So you do need to charge for your services something that you're comfortable with. After you're done with your practice setting, of course. So to answer the question, what do you charge for your service? Start off with where you feel comfortable, okay? You don't have to jump right into a $150 reading, which I don't charge that much even now. But whatever you're comfortable with is where you start. If you're comfortable with 30, like that's how I felt when I first started. I could not absolutely see me charging any more than $30 when I first started. that's where you start at. If you're comfortable with 50, that's where you start at. And as you grow yourself, as you grow your knowledge, as you grow your business, you can increase your prices as you go along. But the price that you set when you first start out has to be something that you are comfortable with, because when you're getting those sales, you don't want the anxiety of, oh my gosh, I set my price at $100 and now I have to be amazing. Like, you don't want that. It's going to just domino effect and ruin everything for you from there on. If $30 is what's in your mind as comparable to what you can give at the moment, charge $30 and increase yourself as you go. There's no right or wrong way to set a price. I absolutely love this question, and I'm so glad you asked. Thank you so much. The question is, what is your favorite reading that you have ever done? So my favorite reading that I have ever done was one that really, really catapulted my belief in all of this, my belief in spirit and another world that we are a part of, we just can't see. So I was doing a reading for this really sweet, caring woman. She was afraid to be on camera, but at the time I needed to be able to have them on camera, yes or no, or this or that. And I remember her screen was black, so I couldn't even see her or anything behind her. And that made me so nervous, but I knew that I could do it. I knew in myself, I had the confidence, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna let that be something that sets me back. And I bring that up because it turned out to be the best reading for me mentally that I've ever had. And I almost said no because she didn't want to be on camera. I almost said no, and I'm so glad that I didn't. So when I connected with her, I immediately was shown a baby that was about 6 months old. And I'm talking to her about what I'm seeing with this child. And for privacy reasons, I won't get into all of it. But things about this child, things that the child knows, the child's aware of. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a 6-month-old baby. And I'm communicating with them from spirit. I could feel that they were in spirit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this must be so painful. This must be why she can't get on camera, because she doesn't want to see how emotional she is about losing her child and her child being in spirit. But at the same time, I never felt like the child had passed away. It was the weirdest, oddest feeling, but I knew to trust, and I just kept going with it. I kept giving the reading, and everything that was coming through from this sweet little girl was so accurate and so on point. I thought, okay, let's just keep going. And then at the end, I'm going to ask her, like, what is this about? So I kept going with the reading, and the information was accurate and correct. And I thought, this is amazing. A 6-month-old child who never learned how to speak English can speak to me so clearly. I had a full 30-minute reading with this beautiful little girl. At the end of the reading, I said, okay, can you kind of explain some things to me, because they kind of didn't feel right. And she says to me, everything was accurate. Everything you said was correct. But I'm pregnant with the baby now. I was like floored and so blown away. I could not believe this. Like a child, an unborn child, I was able to connect with and get information from that was accurate and complete and real and evidential and amazing. I can't even say enough words about this. And I was just so blown away from that reading that I was able to connect with an unborn child. I actually have a video all about that reading in my channel, so you can go look for that. I believe I titled it Connected to an Unborn Child, so you can get more information about that reading. But that's what really, really gave me so much faith and hope and love and joy in this whole journey, is being able to connect to a soul that hasn't even been born yet. Their soul is in heaven watching. It's still connected to the mom, to the body here, but it's also still connected to the universe, as we all are. And this soul is able to give me information of a life they haven't even been born into yet. It was the most amazing reading I've ever had, the most amazing experience I've ever had. And it really gave me the strength to keep going and keep doing this work, because at the time I was nervous, feeling like I couldn't do this, which you all are going to go through as you start to develop your mediumship abilities. Some readings are good, some are bad, and you're going to go through those moments. And I had this reading, and it catapulted me so much further in my journey. So I have received a few questions kind of like this next one. So hopefully it can answer all of those for you guys that have asked similar questions. I used to see spirits when I was a child and was so scared that I blocked them out. Now I want to turn them back on and I can't seem to. Do you have any advice for me? So I do have several friends throughout the community that I have built while learning how to be a psychic and a medium, and they've had the same similar stories where as a child they would get scared seeing stuff and they would turn it off, or they would hear stuff and be scared and turn it off. It's much harder to turn it back on as an adult than it is to as a child, because when you're a child you're playful and you have an imagination and you can see things that those of us that are older and grown, we can't see them. My own daughter, when she was 3 or 4 learning how to talk, 2, 3, 4, she was telling me about a past life that she had and kept telling me that I wasn't her mom, I'm her second mom, because she already had a mom. That's a video for another time. But children can see and do and feel and sense a lot more than we can as adults. So turning it off as a child and trying to turn it back on as an adult is really difficult. I say that because I want you to know it's not impossible. It's just a little harder, and I don't want you to give up. So what you can do, what I have advised some of my clients to do, is sit in meditation with the intention of connecting to your child self inside, connecting to your younger self inside. I want you to go into meditation and I want you to recall a memory where you saw a spirit. Maybe you were laying in bed and you saw one when you opened your eyes in the middle of the night at the edge of your bed. I want you to go back to that moment, recall that moment in your mind, and visit yourself as an adult self, talking to your younger self in that bed, telling yourself it's okay, there's nothing to be afraid of, don't be afraid, you don't have to push this away. Go back and talk to your inner child self and grow that confidence, grow that ability from there. You will be amazed at how I call that shadow work, going back and talking to your child self. I call that shadow work. You will be amazed at what that shadow work does for you now, in the future, in this current body. It really does change things for you when you're able to visualize and go back to your younger self and talk to your younger self how you wished you had been in that moment, how you wish you had been comforted in that moment, how you wish you had been given solace in that moment to know you don't have to be afraid. Or go back to your child self and talk to yourself about protection and boundaries and how to protect yourself and not have spirits come through that you don't want to see or talk to. Going back and doing shadow work to your childhood self in those moments where you were most scared and shut things off is going to open the doors for you in this current adult self of yours. So try that and let me know how it works for you. Leave the comments down below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram, as most of you like to do. That's really going to open yourself up. A lot of our fears that are inside of our body are from childhood, and those are what are blocking us now in adulthood. Those are what are stopping things from coming to fruition for us, because our child self is still within our soul, in our heart, and it's blocking things. So anytime you can go back and talk to your child self in those moments that things occurred and calm yourself down, give yourself reassurance, you're going to be changing and opening yourself up to where those blockages are not going to affect you now in current time. Okay, so how come one reading is amazing and the next isn't so great? So there are many reasons that this could happen, and without any context to your question, I don't know exactly how, but I can give you a few things that I have experienced in my journey to help you. So first of all, you might have a spirit come through that you can't connect with. And by that, I mean, I've used this example before. Let's say the spirit coming through wants to talk about Game of Thrones with their person, my client. I personally have no idea about a single thing about Game of Thrones, like literally zero. I've never watched a single episode. Please don't come at me. And so if this spirit communicator from spirit is trying to tell me things from this Game of Thrones, it's going to feel like I'm blank. It's going to feel like I'm not getting information. It's going to feel like I'm blocked when I'm not. I'm just not able to communicate with this exact spirit because I don't have the memories in my mind or the knowledge in my mind for this spirit to communicate with me for. Okay, so that could definitely be a reason. That has been something in the past of mine that has kind of hindered me, is not having the memories or the knowledge. Spirit uses what you have in your own mind to get things across to you. So if there's something that they want to get across that you don't have a memory for or knowledge about, they're not going to be able to get it across to you. So this could be a reason. Something else is that your anxiety is going to really lower your vibration and hinder you. So when you are really nervous and really anxious going into a reading, it's really going to change your vibe and your energy. Think about how when you're anxious, you feel tight and you feel restricted. Your energy is tight and restricted, okay? Think about when you're happy and in love, and I feel it right now just saying the words, your energy expands. Okay, when you are expanded in your energy, it's easier for spirit to come and blend in with you. So your anxiety is really going to hinder. Now, a little bit of anxiety is normal. I still have anxiety when I give readings. It's minimal, very minimal, but that's because I want my clients to feel the energy and know, and I'm very much wanting my work to affect and help those. So I have that little bit of anxiety wanting to be perfect in my readings. But if you are like super anxious and just super, oh my God, what's going to happen? Please let this work. Please let this spirit come through. You're really hindering yourself and your energy. You're not as open as you could be to connect to spirit. Another thing that could be hindering you is that you're not sitting in the power enough. So sitting in the power, for those that don't know, is a technique that mediums can use to build their power and connect to spirit. I have tons of videos on that, so I won't dive into it too much, but you do need to be sitting in the power to know how to expand your energy and connect to spirit. So work on sitting in the power more, work on your anxiety more, and let me know how that goes for you. Leave me some comments down below. So this next question is something that I actually do get a lot in my DMs or in comments on videos, asking me, how do you get past judgment to put yourself out there as a medium? So this could also apply to somebody who does Reiki or psychic work. How do you get past the judgment to be able to go out into the world, to offer your services, to put yourself out there so people know that you can do these things and you offer this in a business? This is something that I struggled with myself. It took me a long time before I had the courage to put it out to my Facebook, on my regular page, not a business page, but to my Facebook where all my friends and all my family are, or on my Instagram where all my friends and family are. And I was really nervous to do it because if you followed my story, I didn't have any of these skills or abilities until I was 36 years old. So for 36 years, people knew me as one way, as this person who does this and that, but not as somebody who meditates and sits in the power and is a medium and is a psychic or does Reiki. They didn't know me as that. So for 36 years, they saw me this way. And I feel like a lot of them still see me that way, even though I have put myself out there. So you just have to find the courage within yourself to know that this is your journey and your path and your happiness and your soul's happiness. That's what matters. People that are going to judge you are going to judge you whether you post that or not. They will find something to judge about. For me, I posted it about a year and a half ago, and I have probably 300-ish on my Facebook, and I probably had 5 people actually respond in any kind of way. And so that really, really hurt my feelings because these are supposed to be my friends. But I had to learn for me and for my soul and my sake that it's okay if they don't agree. It's okay if they don't want to participate. Not everybody's going to. What matters is me and how I feel. So that's the advice I would give to you as well. What matters is how you feel and what you want, where you want your life to go. Do you want to be dragged down by others' judgments and you're so scared to put yourself out there that you never do? Or do you want to conquer that and say, you know what? Go ahead and judge me because I'm confident and happy in myself, and watch your life grow and expand and grow and expand even more. Judgment is going to be there no matter what you do, whether you're a psychic or medium or not. People are going to judge, they're going to have an opinion, they're going to vocalize it. I don't know why people have to do that, but if somebody doesn't agree, they vocalize it. Don't let that bother you. Don't let that get under your skin. You keep doing you, you keep evolving, you keep being the person that you want to be, the person you want to become. I feel so lit up and happy when I'm doing my mediumship work, when I'm doing my psychic work. It's something that brings me so much happiness and joy that I always want to be doing it. Now, I do have a regular 40-hour-a-week job, so this is not something that I can do full-time. It's pretty part-time for me because aside from my job, I've got my daughter, my dogs, my house, my mom, so many things. But when I'm doing the work that I'm doing, my soul lights up. And so I know that I'm doing something I'm supposed to be doing. And I want to follow my happiness and my journey. At the end of this life, believe me, you're not going to look back and say, man, I wish I listened to all those judgments of others. You're going to look back and say, damn, I put myself out there and I did it. I conquered. I did it. I followed my dreams. The judgments of others is really low vibing energy. Okay, you putting yourself out there and being proud and being confident is really high vibe energy, and that's where you want to be. You want to follow your soul. You want to follow your happiness and your joy. Okay, so for those of you, believe me, I know that it's hard to put yourself out there, especially if you're developing this later in life. It's hard to do that, but once you take that first step, you're going to feel so much better about it. Okay, and our last question for this video is, now that people know I do this, I am constantly having friends or friends of friends text me to ask me to do a free reading for them. How do I stop this? People that I haven't talked to in years are reaching out to me, but only because they found out I'm a medium. Okay, so this is like in complete opposite of the question we just had. So if you didn't check that one out, watch that one too. So on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you put yourself out there, you tell people you're a psychic medium, that you're working on this, you're doing this work, and all of a sudden you have people reaching out to you, hey, this is going on in my life, give me a reading. Hey, what do you see for this happening for me? Hey, does my dad have any messages for me? My dad has passed away, does he have any messages for me? This happened to me too. So if you caught the last question, I put myself out there to hundreds of friends on Facebook, and I probably had 5 actually click like or leave a comment. 5 people, that's it. Then you have on the other end of that spectrum, people that don't want others to know that they agree or like or want to take part in what you're doing. So they're gonna secretly DM you or secretly text you. And it's going to be, at first you're going to feel, wow, they trust me, they agree with me, they want to help me grow. Yes, but then you're going to get to a point where the same person is going to, okay, well, this happened now, what's going on? You've already given this person a free reading and they keep coming back and, well, you're my friend, you should give this to me for free. No. So what I want to say to this person who left me this question is, I went through the same thing and it was hard for me to say no because these are my friends and family. Now, if you want to give a reading for free, you offer it without them asking or saying or begging. You just want to give it, by all means do. I do that all the time. But when somebody comes to you, is my dad talking to you? Can you give me a message? Or somebody comes to you, I don't know if this relationship is going to work. Can you give me a reading? That's not okay. Especially if you're at the point in your journey where you're charging and you have a website and you are booking sessions. People should not be doing this. And what you need to do is set up a boundary right now and say, look, I appreciate you as a friend or family. I'm so happy to help you, but this is my business. This is my livelihood. This is my time, my energy, my time away from my family, my time away from work, time away from myself. It costs you money to learn how to do the things that you are doing, and you should be compensated for the work and the readings that you do. You are going to come across channels on Facebook, channels on YouTube, people in this community who absolutely feel like somebody who charges for psychic or mediumship work is bad. I don't agree, because you're paying good money to learn these skills, to take courses, to take classes and webinars. You're paying money to learn how to do what you do, not to mention the time away from your family, the time away from yourself, the time it takes to build this business. You need to be compensated. And when you have people constantly asking you for free reading, it's draining your energy, and you don't want that. So I know you have like a big heart. I can tell by the way you worded this question, but you have to set a boundary right now and say, look, I cannot give free readings. You have to book a session. Now, you could say, you know what, because your friend or family, here's a coupon code, here's 50% off, here's 20% off. You can do that. The people that really, truly want to work with you, who really, truly respect you and respect what you do and all that you learn, all the knowledge that you have, the ones who truly respect you in that regard, they're going to book a session and pay money to be with you and sit with you and get your advice and get your reading. There's going to be so many people who only want free reading, free service, free. They don't give you advice. They don't give you a review. They don't pay you. They don't give you a tip. They just see the word free and they're going to friggin' go for it. Those people are going to fall to the wayside, and that's what you want. It's going to hurt at first. Believe me, I had that happen to me. It's going to hurt. But these people that don't respect you or your time or your money or your business, you cannot keep holding on to them and giving them free readings. You're giving to them, but you're taking from yourself. You're taking your energy. You're taking your time. You have to set up a boundary now with them, saying, I cannot offer any more free readings. I'm happy to give you a coupon or a discount, but I cannot do free readings. You're going to have some that are respectful of that and join you, and you're going to have some that fall off. You want them to fall off, believe me. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. That's all the questions I have for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. It could be about mediumship, psychic, Reiki, tarot, theta healing, or send me a DM like most of you do on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll make another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for being a part of this channel and this family. I'm so honored to be here to help you and serve you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.